How do you go about building your one-page strategic plan to get aligned as an executive team? In my recent videos, Is Your Executive Team Aligned?, The Alignment Playbook Scaling Up, and How One CEO Doubled Business with Aligned Execs, I discussed the four ingredients to get an executive team on the same page and going in the same direction so they can help the CEO lead the company to grow profitably, predictably, and sustainably. Working together to develop a written plan using a one-page strategic plan format is a good starting point. A one-page strategic plan, or OPSP, avoids lengthy, scattered documents that no one refers to again. It also helps keep the plan brief, forcing clarity. And using a standard format with consistent language and definitions avoids confusion and unnecessary debate. The OPSP was popularized by Verne Harnish in his best-selling book, Mastering the Rockefeller Habits, and is a key tool covered again in his more recent book, Scaling Up. Other coaching organizations, such as my coaching community, Gravitas Impact Premium Coaches, as well as the Entrepreneurial Operating System, EOS, and Metronomics, have all developed a version of the OPSP. In reality, the one-page strategic plan is two 8.5 by 11-inch pages side by side with the company's philosophy, strategy, 3-year plan, and 1-year plan on the left page, and the current quarterly company plans and individual plans on the right. I have found that some elements of the OPSP are more critical than others for small to mid-sized companies here in the prairies. So I'll share what I recommend to include in an OPSP. Also, feel free to contact me on the Contact Us page on my website to access the one-page strategic plan template I use with clients, or complete the form on this page. The format I recommend to clients only includes a version of the left-hand page of the one-page strategic plan, which ends with the 1-year plan. The format for the quarterly plans on the right-hand page of the standard one-page strategic plan doesn't allow for tracking progress, so it requires a separate progress tracking tool. This then requires double entry and makes for more work and potential errors. To capture quarterly company plans and individual plans, I recommend a different quarterly planning and tracking tool, which I'll share in a future article on execution. Once an executive team understands the process of planning and execution, I recommend an online growth system platform that automatically populates the right-hand quarterly plans side of the one-page strategic plan while providing ways to track progress. On the one-page strategic plan that I recommend, there are 4 columns. Column 1, core ideology. Column 2, strategy fundamentals. Column 3, 3-year plan and competitive strategy. Column 4, the 1-year plan. Let's discuss each column one by one. Column 1, core ideology. Jim Collins and Jerry Porras, in their book Built to Last, outlined the notion of a company's core ideology, which includes its core values and core purpose. This core ideology, or you might say company philosophy, provides a foundation for every other decision in the company. It's the set of beliefs that, when articulated, enable a CEO and their executive team to make decisions that align with who they really are as a company, so that those decisions are authentic and sustainable. A section on actions to live our purpose and values is also included in this column. This is a spot for the executive team to capture and remind themselves of what they need to be doing to keep the purpose and values alive in the company. Column 2, strategy fundamentals. Here you'll find a number of decisions that provide the foundation for your competitive strategy. Your big, hairy, audacious goal, BHAG, is a bold, exciting 10 to 30-year goal that acts as a guiding star for where you want to get to as a company. The profit per X comes from Jim Collins' best-selling book, Good to Great, and captures the key company-wide volume metric to grow and make more profitable over time, your economic engine, as Jim calls it. Core competencies ground you and your team in what your company is really good at right now. Your core purpose from column 1, your profit per X, and your core competencies provide the basis for using Jim Collins' hedgehog disciplined strategic thought process, also from Good to Great, to determine your sandbox, being what you'll offer, to who, through what channels and where geographically, as well as your core customer, being the psychographic characteristics of your ideal customer. Ultimately, your core customer and sandbox help to refine your BHAG for where you want the company to win long term. This second column often takes a quarter or two to work through as a team with the support of a seasoned executive team coach. So these sections are often blank coming out of your first annual planning session. Column 3, your 3-year plan and competitive strategy. In this column, you set your 3-year highly achievable goals, or 3HAG, that Shannon Byrne-Susko coined in her book, 3HAG Way. These include 3-year targets for your financial and operational metrics, like revenue, unit volumes, that is, how many X's from the chosen profit per X in column 2, net profit, and over time, cash in the bank, as your team gets more capable at forecasting. Here, companies over time also identify other company metrics and targets that capture the health of the business, such as in the areas of people, culture, customer satisfaction, and in some cases, vendors or partners. This section is followed by the 3HAG statement, which briefly describes where the team expects the company will be in 3 years relative to its BHAG in column 2, based on its 3-year financial and operational targets. Following the 3-year targets and goal are the problems we solve and the key differentiators the company needs to implement, refine, or maintain in order to make your product or service unique and valuable in the mind of your core customers, to attract and retain more of them to achieve your 3-year targets and goal. One can also then include the key competencies the company needs to develop to support implementing or strengthening those differentiators. The problems you solve, key differentiators, and key competencies often take a couple of quarters or more to determine, unless, of course, this work has been previously completed. However, we find this pretty rare. We suggest setting 3-year goals in addition to 1-year goals, so there's a sense of direction to provide guidance for the coming year, while being a major milestone towards the BHAG. And we suggest the 3-year goals rather than 5-year goals, because 3 years is more tangible and urgent, whereas 5 years is too far away to really grasp or create much urgency. Column 4, the 1-year plan. The fourth column captures what you plan to achieve as a company this year. It includes, first, your number 1 addressable challenge, a term and process developed by my colleague Mark Green in Virginia. Your number 1 addressable challenge is the single most critical company result that must be significantly improved by the end of the year. It's a result that often has not improved in the past and has been getting in the way of meaningful progress and other important results. Sometimes it's profit or revenue, other times it's capacity, other times customer satisfaction or employee engagement, etc. If achieved, this result will set up the company to be able to make meaningful progress in future years towards its 3-year targets and goal. Then come your 1-year targets for the same metrics as in your 3-year plan. These are the numbers you and your executive team will drive towards day by day, week by week, month by month, and quarter by quarter. One of your 1-year targets will be your critical number, which defines what quantifiable result needs to be achieved to say you've resolved your number 1 addressable challenge. Then the root causes of that number 1 addressable challenge are identified in order to determine your annual priorities, being the 3 major changes the company needs to make to resolve that single most important challenge. These annual priorities are then broken down into potential quarterly chunks to execute in each quarter. The 1-year plan should be developed in your first annual planning session, and it's entirely feasible with a qualified executive team coach. Below these 4 columns is a short section to capture your internal strengths and weaknesses and the company's external opportunities and threats, your SWOT. The SWOT is completed before your 3-year plan and greatly informs your 1-year plan. It provides context for what's possible over 3 years and provides clues to identify your number 1 addressable challenge, root causes, and annual priorities. Think about column 1, your core ideology, as being the company philosophy that doesn't change and guides every decision and behavior in the organization. Column 2, your strategy fundamentals, reflect where you're best to play and grow over the next 10 years based on where you can excel. Column 3, your 3-year plan and competitive strategy, describes what you want to achieve and how the company needs to evolve to position successfully in the market within your strategy fundamentals on the way to your 10-year goal. And column 4, your annual plan, defines specifically what the company needs to achieve and tackle this coming year to move towards your 3-year goals. Do you see the value in creating your one-page strategic plan to get aligned as an executive team? If so, contact me at the Connect Contact Us page on my website to get my complimentary one-page strategic plan template to help you get started, or complete the form on this page. If you're a Prairie CEO who wants to grow a thriving company, team, and life more quickly, more easily, and with less stress and headaches, please contact me via email or on my website. I hope you found this useful.